All right, hello there gamers and welcome back to the channel. It's finally time for me to weigh in on these leaks pertaining to the expansion and possible new characters. Now, this has already been covered by various Dreamlight Valley creators. It's been in the Dreamlight Valley leaks Discord server for about a week. So, I mean, a lot of people already know about this stuff, but I just wanted to weigh in and give my opinion on all this. Now, of course, that means in today's video, there are going to be spoilers. Okay, now some of this is going to be pertaining to theories, but some of these things we're going to be discussing have been found in the game files. So a lot of people could see this as a major spoiler. So if you don't like spoilers, now's your chance to click off of the video. And with that said, let's dive in. We're going to start things off with the teaser image that pops up at the end of the Eternity Isle storyline. All right, so here it is. Everybody has already talked about this. Now, this isn't the big spoiler today. I mean, it is a spoiler if you haven't finished the Eternity Isle story, but this is not the big news, but it is related to everything we're going to be talking about, so I feel like it is best to have this up because there are going to be a lot of things that we discussed that tie in directly to this art and this scene and this major reveal with Maleficent and Hades. So we're going to start things off. The very first thing we're going to talk about that is relatively new is what I'm going to call the big post. Now, this is from the Dreamlight Valley Leaks Discord server from a user named APC. And this was the big post that a lot of creators have already made videos about, you know, talking about the 4 biomes. And we're just going to read what APC said here. Storybook Vale. And then they go on to list 4 biomes. Fairy Tale, General, Library, and Mythology. In the game's streaming asset files, there's ambience audio from 4 biomes, all belonging to the Storybook Vale map. Total speculation on my part, but combining this with the teaser, I'm guessing the next expansion is heavily book themed. Now before we move on, I do want to point out that they said total speculation on their part, but what they're speculating here on is this overall book theme. But I mean, if we're getting a library and we have this book in the main teaser image that we see here, you know, I mean, it definitely seems like a reasonable speculation for sure. APC goes on to say, with Maleficent belonging to the fairy tale side of things and Hades belonging to the mythology side of things, no files I can find in-game are referring to either one of them. So at this time, it appears within the game files, there's no reference to Hades or Maleficent. But I mean, you know, they're part of the concept art that we're seeing here. So we already have a pretty good idea that we're most certainly getting these characters. Just like when they revealed Jafar, you know, we definitely got Jafar in the Eternity Isle DLC. And I just don't see why Gameloft or Dreamlight Valley would show us both these characters and not have them come to the paid expansion. Lastly, APC here says, but it seems like the name of the new expansion's map is definitely Storybook Vale. So they're saying that the map is called Storybook Vale, but that, just so you guys know, that does not mean that that's the name of the expansion. Just like with the Eternity Isle is the name of the map, but the expansion's name is A Rift in Time. I have seen a few videos out there that said, you know, expansion name revealed. It's not. We don't have the expansion name yet, so don't, you know, don't assume that the expansion is called Storybook Vale, but we're all, as of right now, everybody in the Dreamlight leaks and people that are aware of this information, everyone is calling the update Storybook Vale because that's kind of all we've got to go on. But Storybook Vale appears to be the name of the overall new area that we're getting. Again, that doesn't mean that's the name of the new DLC, it just means it's the name of the new map. At least that's what it is referred to in the game files. So Storybook Vale is the place where we're going to be going. So now that we've read the big post, the one that gave us the names for these new biomes, which I want to talk about these biomes real quick before we move on to the next thing. A fairy tale biome sounds so fun. I love fairy stuff. And what kind of pets and companions will we be seeing with some of these biomes? I really hope we get small fairy companions. You know, we already have like a lot of fun animals, and you know, I do love having little pets, but I would also love to have some like little, you know, fairy follow me around. Reminds me of like Legend of Zelda, you know, like Navi back in Ocarina of Time following you around everywhere. I just think think it would be really cool to have fairy companions. So if we're getting a fairy tale biome, maybe that's a possibility. Let me know what you guys would like to see as far as companions for these new biomes. What kind of companions do we have in the library? You know, it's very interesting to speculate on this. Now, as far as these biomes, there are still people that kind of seem to think that maybe there's going to be 2 major biomes and each one is broken up into these subsections. Some people were saying that the fairy tale and general would be tied to Maleficent and the library and mythology would be tied to Hades, or it could be, you know, general and mythology and library and fairy tale. It's hard to say exactly how this is going to work, but if we look here, it does appear that, you know, this art on the back wall here is torn down the middle, so it does seem like something has divided these biomes, kind of like we saw with Eternity Isle. You have the rift in time, like coming right down the middle of the map, and on the left you have the glittering dunes, and on the right you have the wild tangle, and they're divided by this rift in time. So it could be something similar to that, or it could be something completely different. Let's move on to some other interesting posts here. I want to discuss more with this art and some, well, I say art, but I'm talking about the teaser that shows Maleficent and Hades. I want to talk about some of the other conversations happening in the Dreamlight Valley Leaks Discord about this. So Manny Beast here said it could just be artistic design, but that rip in the paper could be a split between 2 biomes, which is exactly what we were just talking about. That's why I wanted to pull this up here. This is something I've thought as well, and just seeing this kind of confirmed from another person's perspective is nice to see. Austin kind of echoing the sentiment. They said, that's what I thought when I saw it instantly. Like they showed us, it's 2 huge biomes instead of the 3 from last time. Austin seems to be theorizing that this DLC is going to be 2 major biomes, and maybe those are going to be split into 2 big subsections, because, you know, the leak that we saw listed the names for what appeared to be 4 biomes, but one of them was just named General, and I don't really know how that's supposed to work. I don't know if that's actually a name for a biome or more of a placeholder, but I want to reaffirm here before we move any further in this video that 99% of what we're talking about today is speculation, okay? There's like a 1% that's not speculation, and that 1% is the fact that these names are in the game files, but everything else besides that is you know, just shots in the dark essentially, or what we may expect to see based on that information. So Mini Beast here said something interesting about the teaser scene that was revealed. They said, I'd bet anything that it's an in-game screenshot, perhaps at the center of it all, with a depiction of them on a wall. It's too detailed to just be a teaser, especially the surrounding wall and flooring. So let's take a look at this. I agree. This doesn't look like a cutscene to me. What we're seeing here look like in-game assets. You can even see like there's a little red bush in the bottom left-hand side, and this looks like the exact same kind of detail and graphics that we have within the game. This really does look like an in-game scene, and it may even be part of a cutscene that plays within an in-game scene. But I have to agree with Mini Beast here. I definitely think that what we're looking at here is going to be at the center of this new expansion, and I think this is a place that we're going to be able to visit. And this book is obviously a huge deal, because that book in the center on the altar was the very first teaser we got regarding this new expansion, and it was part of the roadmap, and that was the first teaser we got about any of this. So the book has to be important. The book might even be how we get to the other biomes. So I want to talk about my personal theory about this, which, you know, it could be right, it could be wrong. It's just kind of a fun thing to consider. So in the big post, the big reveal by APC, APC listed 4 biomes found in the game files: Fairy Tale, General, Library, and Mythology. So what if this book here is located in the General biome, right? And it's just like a base area, and then reading the book or using the book is what opens a gateway into the other 3 biomes. So it's like we're getting 3 biomes just like we got with Eternity Isle, but what if they're all in their own separate special little area? What if they're not connected the way the biomes were in Eternity Isle? Again, this whole update or expansion does appear to be very storybook based, and it appears that, Storybook Vale is what it's called. And also, Vale is just another way of saying valley, so consider it to be Storybook Valley. Either way, it's very interesting. Then again, this could also be the library, or that could not be the case at all. It could be built like Eternity Isle, where we can walk from one biome to another. It's really hard to say what we're looking at. Again, this is all just speculation. So moving on here, there were some other interesting things, and Austin here said something I wanted to share, and it's, a lot of people dropped reactions on their comment here, which I guess means a lot of people kind of agree with this. Austin said, if it is just 2 biomes, I feel really solid it'll be 6 characters this time. I think the format will be different, and they're saying the format of this expansion would be different from the format of Eternity Isle. Probably 2 characters each act to make them all seem more full, since people were overwhelmed at first, then more disappointed. Plus, we don't need another tool. So Austin's saying that they don't think this new expansion is going to give us another tool. They also think that it's possible this expansion will just have 2 very big biomes instead of having 4 or 3. And in the game files, it does appear that there's some ambient noise files for up to 4 biomes, but it could just be subsections of 2 major biomes. Like I said, it's all speculation at this point. But I do like where their head's at here. I think it is entirely possible that we could get more characters with this expansion. I mean, think about the themes here and the names of these game files, like a fairy tale, a mythology. There are a lot of characters we can get with that, but before we start guessing what characters we could see here, we do have to consider we might not get Hercules as part of the mythology biome, because we got Jafar in the Rift in Time expansion, and there was this big Agrabah palace. Everybody was thinking we were going to get Aladdin because of that, and we didn't. So it is possible we get Hades, but no Aladdin. And that would be a shame, considering it looks like we're getting a Greek mythology inspired biome. I would really love to see Herc and Phil. I would love to see characters tied to these locations in some way, but I wouldn't be surprised if that doesn't happen, because it wouldn't be it's not impossible for Gameloft or Dreamlight Valley to just not give us characters that go with these areas. I mean, reflecting on Eternity Isle, Rapunzel, Gaston, and Eve, that was so random. I can see Oswald tying into a Rift in Time, though, because of how old he is and how he was Walt Disney's first character. Oswald really fit the theme of time because he stood the test of time. But the other characters, Rapunzel, Eve, Gaston, they were just so random. So, I mean, I don't know who to expect in this expansion, aside from who's shown here on the screen with Maleficent and Hades, but that's 2 characters already. So is Austin onto something here? I mean, if we already see that we're getting these 2, would it be possible that we have another 4 on top of that? But I do like what they're saying, each free update that comes out for the paid expansion once you buy it would bring 2 new characters, which seems like a lot, but if they don't have to code in a new royal tool, if they don't have to make as many biomes, then that could definitely be a possibility. Speaking of new characters, there were some other interesting things found in the Dreamlight Valley leaks Discord, or I guess in the game files. And I believe this was also found by APC. And this is referring to some Jack dialogue. And this does appear to be Jack Sparrow related. So you can read here, it says Jack stating, "Not all treasure is silver and gold, mate." Also here it says, "Wherever we want to go, we'll go. You smell funny." And yes, I agree. And no, you are crazy. So this does appear to be dialogue for Jack Sparrow. I mean, it says Jack, but this doesn't sound like Pumpkin Jack at all. Pumpkin Jack never says mate. And the line, "Not all treasure is silver and gold, mate," that's definitely Jack Sparrow there. But does this mean Jack is coming to the game? It's hard to say. So it was APC that shared this. I want to add on this a little bit. APC here also states that what he found here, is not tied directly to Storybook Vale, but it's in the files under choices.lockbin and was recently edited. So
these were recently added. So these aren't game files that Gameloft put in there a year ago and decided not to use. These have recently been changed, which means they appear to be gearing up for Jack Sparrow in some way. But also, ABC was clear here saying that this is not tied, or doesn't appear to be tied to Storybook Vale, because it's not located in the same location as the files that are related to Storybook Vale. So what does this mean? You know, I mean, we already know we're getting Timon and Pumbaa in October. We know we're getting Sally in December. So why is Gameloft already adding things to the game files to do with another character? Is it possible that we're going to get a surprise character? We did get some movement on Skull Rock recently. At the beginning of the Tiana update, we all got letters in our mailbox from the Forgotten saying, hey, you know, I'm recalling playing with somebody in Skull Rock. I'll let you know when I remember more. Can't remember the exact wording, but you get my drift. Now, there is a big debate on Skull Rock right now between Peter Pan, Tinkerbell, and Pirates of the Caribbean, which in my opinion, those are really the only two relevant options for Skull Rock. So it could be Peter Pan characters, like I said, you know, Captain Hook, especially Peter himself, Tinkerbell, and then alternatively, it could be a Pirates of the Caribbean thing, and we could have Jack Sparrow. But it is interesting as it appears that there are some dialogue lines in the game for Jack Sparrow. But like I said, the odd thing is, when would Jack be coming, and how are we already getting content for Jack like this? Or I guess having things in the game file already that have to do with Jack, because it feels like it's really early for that. You know, is Jack gonna be a secret update character that we didn't know that just randomly comes out and surprises us? I don't know. He could be tied to Skull Rock. I do find the timing of this very interesting, how with this update, we got a letter from the Forgotten that said they remember playing with somebody in Skull Rock, and coincidentally, the dialogue lines for Jack Sparrow have recently been edited by the devs. I don't know. It seems like the time is really lining up. The only thing that doesn't fit that well for me with that is when the Forgotten says that we used to play with somebody inside of Skull Rock, that definitely makes me think of Peter Pan a bit more, because, you know, the Forgotten was our inner child, so that would be us as a child. If we were going to be playing with somebody as a child, Peter Pan makes a whole lot of sense. I mean, that's kind of his whole thing, staying young forever, playing, you know, I just think it would make sense for it to be Peter Pan. But also, this is interesting, seeing these lines for Jack Sparrow. Now, some people say that, you know, Skull Rock has to be Peter Pan because that's, you know, it's part of the Peter Pan verse. But I do think it could be tied to Pirates as well. So I don't know. It's right now, I have no idea. This, like I said, it's all speculation, you guys. So let me know what you think. Is Jack going to come sooner than we expect? I know some people don't want Jack in the game at all because they don't like live action characters, which, you know, to each their own. Personally, I would love Jack. So, you know, that's just my 2 cents, but I get it if you're not into that. Either way, this is all very, very exciting. I hope that APC and some of the other data miners can find some more interesting information within the game files. I love what we're seeing so far. And again, these biomes, fairy tale, general, library, mythology, this all sounds very interesting. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. What kind of new critters or animal companions would you expect to see in biomes with these kinds of names? What kind of characters, or what characters do you think we will see in this expansion aside from Maleficent and Hades? And do you think that this location here shown in the teaser is an actual place we're going to be able to go? And what do you think the book is? Do you think the book is like a gateway, kind of like I was theorizing, or do you think it's a new royal tool, or do you think it's something completely different? And if so, what? Anyway, yeah, I just love talking about this stuff, but all very, very interesting. Can't wait to read your comments on that. And with that, let's move on to our Dreamsnap results in the premium shop review. All right, so now it's time to dive into Dreamsnaps, and today we're going to be seeing my results for the Disney Princess Week submission. Now, full disclosure, I'm not really sure how this one's going to do at all. I don't really know what to expect. Oh, and by the way, I have some special guests with us here today. We have my Twitch community hanging out in the stream right now. Usually when I do these videos, I record them like Wednesday morning and I just record myself opening my mail. But as of today, I'm going to be starting to broadcast this experience. So if you want to check that out, you can swing by Twitch, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about that. Hello, Twitch. Everybody's saying hey. Anyway, for Disney Princess Week, I have no clue what to expect. I'm pretty, I think it's a good submission, but it's one of my most rushed submissions in recent time. I maybe spent like 20 minutes on it. It was just a busy week, and it's also kind of dark. But that's on purpose. I wanted it to appear like I was a princess going to a ball or a extravagant royal party at night. So that was what I wanted to submit. But I do think if any beautiful, bright pictures pop up against it in voting, I think they would beat it. So I have no idea. But then again, a lot of the times when I expect to like have less than my usual results, I end up getting better than my usual results. It's just really hard to say how it's going to go with Dreamsnaps. But anyway, let's go ahead and check the mail and see how we did. Better than I expected, and we got ranked 219. So we scored 86.87. We ranked 219, and we got our 4,000 moonstones. Much higher than I expected it to. I don't think that this Dreamsnap necessarily deserves a top 500 rank, but you can be the judge of that when I show it to you guys, and we'll talk about it in a bit. We'll claim these moonstones, which is good because we got a lot of stuff from the shop to get. All right, now let's go ahead and take a look at our submission. Alrighty, and here it is. This is what we put together for the Disney Princess Week Dreamsnap Challenge. I think utilizing Fairy Godmother and Eric and the pumpkin carriage was a good wow factor, and I'm guessing that's what made this have a good rank. I mean, it could be the build and the symmetry, but I don't know. There's not a lot going on with the build here. Like, I have the castle in the background, we have the moon, we have some of those icy willows, we have some lights, and we have a walkway. So it's not a very intricate build. There's not a lot happening, but it does tell a story. You know, you have our Disney princess here in the center, and you have Prince Eric standing by the carriage, bowing to her, and Fairy Godmother waving her wand as if to say, "Good luck, dearie." If you came across this Dreamsnap and you liked it enough to vote for it, thank you very much. And with that, let's move on to discuss this week's newest Dreamsnap challenge. All right, so here is our newest Dreamsnap challenge. This one is called Make It Camp. It's time to get campy, literally. Dress yourself for a hike in the Forest of Valor or a night sleeping under the stars on the Sunlit Plateau. Bring your unique fashion sense to a cozy, comfy look for time outdoors with Valley Pals. Okay, so this kind of reminds me, it's like the clothing version of the Camp Dreamlight Dreamsnap challenge, if you guys remember that. So we had a Dreamsnap challenge where we had to go, well, camping, and it was a decor challenge, so it all had to do with how you built your scene. This one is going to be a camping outfit challenge, so I like this. I'm excited to see what kind of options we have. Camping themes are always nice, and we do have a lot of really good stuff in the premium shop and just in our inventory that can work very well with this challenge. Our mandatory tags this week are going to be playful and familiar, and our bonus tags this week are going to be back and casual. Interesting. So back is one of the bonus tags. That means we're only going to be able to have one high value item in this submission. Make sure you guys equip a back item. Looks like they really want us to have these backpacks. And yeah, let me know what you guys think of this. Do you like camping challenges? Do you think they're fun? Are you excited to experiment with this one? I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I always enjoy the camping theme, and nature builds are like one of my favorite things in the game. And with that, I guess now it's finally time to move on to the premium shop review. and I'm pretty excited about this because we have a lot of really cool stuff in the shop to take a look at today. So this is going to be a pretty extensive little review and showcase. All right, here it is. So this week we have, I think we do have 4 new items and a bunch of fun stuff. So we have the Agrabah market set. And this Agrabah market set was something I was very excited for because we just don't have a lot of great desert decor. So I am a very, very big fan of this Agrabah market set. And I can't wait to look at it and experiment with it. Today we'll probably end up redoing a big part of my Glittering Dunes build. So this little set is going to run you 1,750 moonstones. I just love this set so much. One of my favorite things to get in the premium shop is new decor like this, especially decor bundles. It can really transform an entire area. So 1,750 moonstones for 5 exciting new decor pieces is a fantastic deal. We're going to pick that up right now. Now, let's take a look at our newest outfit for the week, which is the Junior Wilderness Explorer outfit. Now, this is coming in at 1,200 moonstones. Very affordable, not an expensive item at all. And I love the look of this. This is so fun. It does appear that you'll be able to wear rings, gloves, bracelets because it's short sleeve, and it looks like we can still have neckwear on, which is nice, but still this Junior Wilderness Explorer outfit's probably not going to be the best for outfit challenges. However, if we get another camping or nature themed Dreamsnap challenge, and it's a decor challenge, this could be a great outfit to wear in a decor challenge. Now, let's talk about what may be the best item in the shop this week. And it's hard to beat the Agrabah market set. That is such an awesome set, but I always prefer premium houses. Premium houses are just, I think, the best thing ever to get from your moonstones. And most of them look amazing, like this one. I like the detail here. I like the green on the roof. This is going to look so good in a forested area. We also have green on the steps. We have this little bit of green wood at the top of the door. And all of the shelving around this home has some green around it. Like this shelf is green, this one. And you can even see some green at the base. It's going to kind of blend with the grass. I love the little cabin bed icon on the house itself. That's cute. I don't know. This just looks so cool. And I bet it's going to look great at night too. Yeah. With these lights here on the side. Now, the demonstration mode never really does it justice. It's kind of hard to know how it's going to look at night by just using this toggle. But these lights do look very white. I hope they're more of a yellow tone, like more of a warm light tone whenever we look at them in the build when we place them. Now, not only does this, 3,000 moonstone purchase get you this house, but it also gets you a chair. So we got a little rocking chair here, rustic wooden chair, which is it kind of random. I mean, it goes with the house. I get the correlation here. That makes sense. But I feel like it is just kind of random that they just give us one little chair with it. Like, oh, here you go. And you can see it here out front. So I guess since we're getting that little piece of detail, they're just like, you know what, you can place more of them if you want. But I do really like this chair. It's really cute. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and pick this up. We'll take a closer look at it in a few minutes. And we have Jasmine's Courtyard Fountain. Oh, wow. That looks really cool. I did not expect the animation to go this hard. I'm not gonna lie. This is beautiful. And it's another Aladdin tag item. So, I mean, it has Jasmine's name in it. Yes, I get that. But the tag itself is Aladdin, if you can see over here. But that's really cool. It's nice to have another Aladdin item. And this looks good. This might be one of the better looking fountains in the game. This animation is just so cool with the water pouring down all around that big center bowl. And I also like this almost like peacock fanning feathers at the top. Is that what that's supposed to be? It does kind of, we'll take a closer look at it when we place it, but I really love the way this looks. All right, now it's time to dive into the premium shop showcase. And like we were saying in the review, we have some really exciting items to look at this week. We're going to start with the new Glittering Dunes decor and this Agrabah market set. So first off, we have the Agrabah carpet set here. And, it's pretty basic. It's thin. It's nice. As far as space, it's pretty flexible. This one is just a 1 by 12. Yeah, 1 by 12 piece. So, I mean, you can really fit this into a lot of places. You can cram it right up against some of the other items. And it's good, you know, it's got good detail on the carpets. The carpets look really cool. We kind of got them in the sunlight here so you can see them. You know, not much to say about this item. It's nice. Let's move on to the loom. The loom is also pretty cool. We have these like stone pieces at the bottom. It's also nice to have it next to the carpets because, you know, you have the loom like making a new carpet and then you have the carpets here. So a cool little pair of items that work well together. As far as the detail, you know, it's for what it is, it's relatively well detailed. So yeah, it looks great. So next up we have the Agrabah jewelry stand. And the name on this one is kind of interesting because it almost feels more like a potion stand or an urn. You know, there's like all these little golden potion bottles, and there's also this little hanging carpet here, which looks really cool. I do love the look of this one, but the name of it is kind of confusing because these little golden bottles are far too big to be pieces of jewelry. But, you know, it is cool that we have all the little gold items on here. It looks really cute, and it's a good looking piece of furniture. The only thing is that the name is a little misleading. You know, you would expect to see some like maybe necklaces or bracelets kind of hanging here on display, but instead it's like little urns and gold bottles. That's not really a complaint, just more like a confusing little thing about the item. Next up, we have the Agrabah Market pottery stand. Now this one I really like. We have these earthen jars and these baskets in the game already. Like you can place a few of these items. So it's kind of like they repurposed them, put them together for this. And you can even put more of these earthen jars around this build if you want. So here's the earthenware jar. So if you wanted to, you could have like a few of these scattered about here just to add a bit more to the scene. And there are some other things like there's these baskets. We have a couple of different variations and colors of those. So if you wanted to, you can add even more items around this little stall to give it a little bit of extra detail, but it does have enough detail on its own. I would say this is one of the best items in the set. Not my absolute favorite, but might be my second favorite just because I like the canopy on top. I like the woodwork, and I love all the little earthen jars kind of scattered around it. And now for my favorite item in the Agrabah market set, which is this Agrabah fruit stand. Now this thing is so cool. I love the structure of this. I just love this big item and the fact that we can kind of go through it here as well. This is just an amazing little item. And what I discovered earlier is you can actually put these like right on top of each other. I bought a few extras from Scrooge. We'll talk about the Scrooge price in a minute, but if you get multiples of these, I mean, they interlock really well. I really like the sandstone design of this as opposed to like a lot of the other like little wooden items. They all go well together, but this is definitely my favorite one. And you can also rotate it and like have the backside here. And it works pretty good like that as well. I just really like the way it interconnects. And the detail on the back, you have this like little basket of berries or pomegranates or something. And we can see some mangoes, we see some coconuts. I just really, really love the way this looks. Definitely my favorite item in the Agrabah market set. But the set didn't really have any bad items. I like all of them, but this one's just my favorite. And the last item we're going to talk about in this set is going to be Jasmine's Courtyard Fountain. And I say this set, but I know it's not part of the Agrabah market set. I'm just putting everything that works well in the Glittering Dunes in this part of the showcase. So I consider this to be part of the Glittering Dunes decor. But to be fair, this would work well in a lot of places. You can use this wherever you want. This has to be one of the coolest looking fountains in the game. We've had some really great fountains come through the premium shop, but this one might be my favorite just because of how animated it is. You have all of these different water streams pouring down, and then you have this really cool little peacock statue in the center with the water kind of like fanning out around it. I just love the way this thing looks, and it's quite large. I think it might be a downside that it's this large because it's going to be hard to fit it into like specific areas or builds. So this little guy here or big guy here is going to require 12 by 12 placement squares. But it does appear you can put things in those corner squares if you want to. I mean, this goes like right up against it. It even will go like under it a little bit. So at least you don't need all 12 of the squares to be open. You will be able to kind of, you know, get it up against things if you'd like. But yeah, I really, really love this fountain. I haven't seen it on grass. I know we've had some issues in the past where if you put a fountain on grass, the grass would clip through the water at the bottom. So we're going to test that real quick to make sure that's not a problem. Okay, cool. So we just placed this on some grass here in the wild tangle, and thankfully there's no grass clipping through the bottom of the fountain. I'm glad that they fixed that. I think the last time we had that issue was with the Ratatouille fountain that we got from the premium shop. It had some grass clipping through, but they did patch that. They did fix it, and now it seems that it's not a problem with the other fountains, which is great to see. But yeah, like I said, this is one of the coolest and best looking fountains we've gotten from the premium shop. Highly recommend getting this item if you can. It's really fun, and it has the Aladdin tag, which we mentioned, but it's also just one of the best looking fountains I've seen in the game. I absolutely love this thing. It might be one of my favorite items from the premium shop this week. And now it's time to talk about our final items, which would be the Junior Wilderness Explorer outfit that you can see I'm wearing here. Very cute. Love all the buttons. This is very fun. And then also we have the Triangle House Bundle. Now, this is a house bundle, but it's just the house and these little wooden rocking chairs. But it is cool that we got a little piece of furniture as well. I ain't mad about it. We'll start with the outfit and then we'll move into the house. I mean, there's not a whole lot to say about the outfit. I mean, we already kind of checked it out in the premium shop itself. It is really fun. It packs a lot of cool detail. Not a whole lot to say about it, but I do really love the shoes. I love like the outdoorsy wilderness shoes. Those are really fun. I probably shouldn't have these gloves on for this part of the review, but I left them on because I'm lazy. Anyway, let's move on to the Triangle House Bundle. Now, I've been super excited about this house ever since it was revealed in the premium shop leaks. I'm really glad we got it today, but I really love wilderness stuff. I love nature builds, and this house is going to work very well for a nature build. Like we saw, it does have a lot of good detail. I love that the roof comes all the way down here. I just love the architecture of this house. And as far as the detail, you know, you have like a lot of these green tiles, the wood green here, and the green is kind of, it's like almost like we got like some moss growing here on some of the wood beams. We have some fun colors on the house as well. The steps here being green above the door, the yellow door, the patch of roof up there that's yellow, the yellow around the window, whatever this little thing is. It's like a little piece of art here that's on the right side. And then you have these little shelves, bundles of firewood. Overall, it's just really cute. Now, you can't sit in the chair here. That's part of the decor, but that makes sense. And I think maybe the devs were like, you know what? People are going to call us out for not letting them sit in that chair, so we're going to add some chairs they can sit in. So they included this in the bundle. We do have these hanging lights here, which we're going to take a look at nighttime. So yeah, hopefully they'll be warm light and not just bright white bulbs. We'll find out soon. Now, as far as the back, there is no back door to this house, but there doesn't really need to be a back door to every house. I kind of prefer this one just to have the front door here. But yeah, it's fun. Let's hop inside and see if there's anything different about this one. Nope, regular old premium house. So yeah. Okay, we'll probably do something with the inside of that later. Now, let's talk placement before we go to nighttime. This house, actually, for the size it is pretty flexible on placement. It's somewhat tall, but yeah, it doesn't require like a tremendous amount of space. Not like, you know, some of the houses we've gotten, like the Jungle House. Man, this thing was like really demanding on the space. But this one goes really well with different nature builds, and yeah, it doesn't need that much space. Also, the space in front, these like several squares we have right in front of the house, you can place items within them, so it makes it pretty flexible on decorating the area around the home. Overall, the detail is nice. The price is good. You're talking 3,000 moonstones for this, and it comes with the chairs as well, and it's just really cute. And I know a lot of people love nature builds, so I think people are going to really, really enjoy this house. Now, let's take a look at it at nighttime and see how it changes up. All right, so here it is at night. Now, this thing isn't loaded with lights or anything, but it really shouldn't be since it's meant to be like a cabin in the woods for camping. Here's the lights on the right-hand side. They do appear to be more whitish. I think I would like them more if they were more of like a yellow or gold tone, but I don't dislike them. I just love warm light. I'm obsessed with warm light, so I love warm light everywhere, so I think I would have liked it more if the lights were a bit more of a yellow or warm tone. It would also be nice if they put out light, and what I mean by that is a lot of things in the game will glow, but only certain things cast light. We do have this window up here that lights up as well, and then you do have one little light bulb above the door. Now, what I mean by casting light, if we look at the New Orleans streetcar, for example, you'll notice that it casts light at the front and back. You can see light actually moving outward from the little front and back light sources there. So it would be cool if the light over the door cast some light down, or maybe if these lights on the side cast some light out, I would like that. But again, not necessary. It definitely doesn't have to do that. I think it's great for what it is. You know, these aren't even really critiques. I'm just talking about how it could have been different. I like it for what it is. I don't necessarily want these changes. If there was one thing I could change about it, I would make the lights a little bit more warm on this little light strip, but that's it. Overall, super cute house, definitely worth it. I'm not too sure where I'm going to put it yet. You know, I did build this little scene just for the review, just so you guys can see it around some pine trees, some firs. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this new premium house. Are you excited about it? Do you like it more than the Bayou house? Let me know in the comments below. Now we've looked at all the new items from the premium shop. There's one thing left to do, and that's check the prices in Scrooge's shop. And like usual, a lot of these items are quite expensive. New items coming through the premium shop, once you unlock them, appear to usually be pretty pricey. So the Agrabah market set is a good example of this. I mean, this pottery stand is coming in at 25K. The loom is 23K. The fruit stand is 25K. The jewelry stand is 20K. And the marketplace carpets are also 20K. So all of the items from the Agrabah marketplace are going to cost you 20,000 or more, but definitely worth it to decorate your glittering dunes. And at the end of the day, as long as you can grow pumpkins, you have endless money. We also have the Jasmine Courtyard Fountain to discuss as far as pricing goes, and the price of this actually surprised me. Only 900 star coins for a copy of this fountain. It's pretty wild to me that the Agrabah pottery stand is more than 25 times more expensive than this beautiful fountain. I don't really understand the logic. Like, if you're going to make all these things expensive, why not just make this fountain expensive too? It might be because of how big it is. Maybe they're assuming people won't need to buy too many of them because it's quite a large fountain. And lastly, we have our new chair. This little wooden rustic chair is also quite expensive, coming in at 12,000 star coins. You know, 12,000 star coins for a little wooden rocking chair, 900 star coins for a sandstone elegant fountain with water animation. It does not make a whole lot of sense to me, the pricing, but, you know, I'll just let Scrooge do his thing. Scrooge economy is weird. It really is. It really is. I don't know what's going on with that. And there you have it. Another weekly Dreamlight Valley breakdown on the books. So I would love to hear your thoughts on what we discussed today. You know, at the beginning of the video, we were talking about the big spoilers and the leaks. What are your thoughts on that? And how do you feel about this week's premium shop lineup? For me, I really enjoyed this week. I'm really glad we got some new stuff for the Glittering Dunes. I love the new home, and the new fountain was also just a very nice surprise with the animation and everything. Really, really liked the way that ended up looking. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful, informative, or simply entertaining, please do me a very big favor and press that like button. Also, consider subscribing for more Disney Dreamlight Valley and gaming content. As always, thank you so much for your time today, and I hope you enjoy the future of Disney Dreamlight Valley.